Hey everyone, James Luth, Keller Williams Realty, roadhomes.com. We are back at Home Point Financial today where Mike Quinn explains when to apply for your mortgage and where to start the process. Hope you enjoy. All right, definitely the single most asked question I think I hear is when do you start? Where is that invisible line? Even if you're a couple years out, when do you start this home purchase process?
Great. Starting the home buying process really should be as soon as you possibly can. Most people, it's the age of technology. Most people do all their research online, whether it's Zillow or Bankrate.com. But reality is you are never going to get the full experiences if you call a mortgage person or a realtor, okay?
Yep.
So a lot of times people will give me a call. They might say, I'm 6 months out, I'm a year out, or I want to see if this is ever going to be a possibility. I've been renting for 15 years. My landlord's selling the house, and am I ever going to be able to buy? So a big part of it, it's almost like mortgage planning.
Right.
So
Right.
you don't want to wait until you're ready to pull the trigger on a house to apply. So you want to do all the groundwork, and you want to make sure that, hey, if I'm calling him, he's going to go over my financials. He's going to tell me on my credit, hey, my credit's not that great right now, but I have to do X, Y, and Z to make sure that I build up my credit. So in a year when I'm ready to buy, I'm in a position to buy.
And something I want to add to that, how much does it cost? I'm thinking exactly what you just said. Does it cost me anything to make a phone call to you?
Never costs enough.
Does it cost anything
No.
to you?
No.
How about does it impact my credit?
So first question is, the only time it costs you anything is when you close. So that's when you incur your quote-unquote closing costs, which I know we discussed earlier, the seller hopefully pays for. So all the, I'm actually closing on Thursday a client that I took an application from in 2012. He's gone on a contract for 4 different properties. They've all fallen out for over the course of the years, and we're finally closing. So the process can start 3 years in advance.
Right.
He was self-employed. He left his company, he went back, now he's an RN. So,
Yep.
that everything, the whole process evolves as you move on. You just need to make sure that you're in a position that when the time is right, that you can buy. What was the other point you were
And I
talking
hear
about?
this all the time, is credit pulls.
Yes.
Does it negatively affect a potential buyer's credit when they're looking to obtain or start the pre-approval process?
Yes. So what I always say is you can have your credit run a reasonable amount of times in a reasonable time period. So if you're shopping around for a mortgage, yes, you can call 2 or 3 different places. It is not going to negatively impact your credit. What will impact your credit is having your credit run and taking out new debt. So a lot of times people will go, they'll apply for a car, and your credit will get run 5 different times because they want to get you the best interest rate for the car loan. Well, that's not always necessarily what tanks your credit. It's the fact that you just took out a car loan is what brings the credit scores down.
Right.
Same thing with credit cards. You apply for credit cards. Yes, it's not the inquiry on the credit card. It's the fact you just took out a credit card. So it's a new debt that shows up in your credit. So no, anybody would tell you, unless they don't want you shopping around for a mortgage, that yes, feel free, call 2 or 3 different places, get the best deal. Shop around, make sure that you're protected and you're getting the best deal possible.
And a starting point that I see missed all the time is open houses. And I actually shot a great video while I was actually at an open house yesterday. If you're a buyer and you're on the fence, you're a secret buyer, right? No one knows that you're buying except for you when you're online late at night looking at brand new properties, obviously on road homes. But
Obviously.
go to open houses. And the reason being is that you can shorten the time. Once you get that pre-approval, you're already got it. You've educated yourself as a buyer. You've gone and you've seen properties. You've seen what you don't like, which is probably the most important part of that process. We have it open to the public. You can go in. You can say, you know what? I hate raised ranches, or I really like raised ranches. I need 3 bedrooms. I don't need 3 bedrooms. It's a wonderful way to get your foot in the door, to get some exposure with property, to talk to some realtors that are at those open houses, and to really educate yourself before you want to make that full commitment and get pre-approved and then speak with an agent and then start the buying process.
Yeah, because what's good is by doing something, by taking that approach, you're already going to go into it knowing exactly what you want.
Right.
All right. So you're not going out looking at 30 different properties with your realtor every single weekend and getting frustrated with the process. You're going in with a plan, you're executing, and I know usually it's 5-6 houses and
Right.
someone goes under contract. So what the most probably I would say frustrating thing from a buyer's perspective is going and looking at 30 houses, getting either outbid or not being prepared when they find a house that they love, hence doing the pre-approval early in the process. But yeah, just the amount of time commitment. So if you can kind of hone in on what you want, it's going to make the whole process a lot smoother.
And we've all had those clients that have come back after viewing 30 properties only to say, I wish I had made an offer on that first one.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the single most, that's the best and most effective way to ever prevent yourself from looking at that first property that you actually stepped into ready to buy. Spend more time, and then you could be more reactive. So the more time you spend being proactive, then you can be reactive. Where you see that first property, you can jump on it.
That's a good point, James.
Thank you. Thanks for watching this week's video. Make sure you stay tuned. We have a brand new one coming for you next week. Also, a big shout out to Home Point Financial and Michael Quinn. Just a reminder, if you ever have any questions, feel free to respond directly right in the comments field of this video. Thanks for watching.